Hi guys, it's Chris here from Somebloke who travels a lot. Now, on most Sunday mornings, you will find me telling you about the latest holiday deals and offers I have found and posted on my website. Now, those new offers are still on the website and they're on the screen below on the little ticker, but this video is a whole lot different. So if your numbers came up on the lottery, Great Aunt Maud has left you her Monet collection, or you just happen to be something very important in the city, then this video is for you. My £1 million holiday guide. 7 holiday ideas, all a little bit different. There's no cliches in here really. Each one more expensive and more outrageous than the last. But most importantly, all can be booked online today. Well, just as long as your credit card's black. So as per normal, there are links in the description below and the prices are based on 2 people sharing. I tell you what, the 7th holiday, I was absolutely gobsmacked you could book that online. Totally surprised. But life is all about surprises. Life's all about sandy beaches, turquoise waters and blue summer skies. And you think I'm going to go to Barbados? You think I'm going to go to Sandy Lane? Think again. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Barbados. I think it's wonderful, but I think Bermuda's better. And I think Cambridge Beaches is better than Sandy Lane. It's less well known. It's a bit exclusive, but to me, it's just class. And I'm slightly biased because I used to be the sommelier here back in 1995, 30 years ago. And I love it that much that I actually went back last Christmas, just for lunch, mind you. Now, see this red box? This is one of the things that to me makes it so wonderful. That is a list. It's a big sign up in the main lobby area. And it's all the guests that have visited, if there are multiple guests, whether you visited 5 times, 10 times, even 100 times. And when I was there, 100-time visitor came to stay. As an elderly couple, they were absolutely lovely, totally adorable. And when they walked in the restaurant on their first night, they got a standing ovation and they were clapped to their table, which personally I'd find a little bit embarrassing. What I wouldn't find embarrassing is renting this 3-bedroom waterview cottage. I think it's called Windsong. It certainly was called Windsong when I was there, and I think it was about 10,000 a night then. And in those days, you couldn't use credit cards. You had to settle in cash or a cheque that was cleared. But we can't stay in Windsong because you can't book that online. And remember, the rules for this video is booking online. So we can go up to the dizzy heights of a private pool, waterview cottage. Now, Cambridge Beaches is on this peninsula of Bermuda. So you've got water pretty much on 3 sides. And of course, the water is gorgeous. It's clear. And from May, it's absolutely adorable. I love Bermuda. Go to Bermuda. I'm going to try and get a holiday to Bermuda, but it'll probably be a cruise to be in my budget because I can't afford $13,000 for 7 nights. And we've got to fly there. And remember, this is a millionaires video. So we've got to fly there in first class. We can't press that economy button. We've got to press that button. And then we've got to find some flights. And of course, there's 2 of us going. So, because you're coming with me, aren't you? You're coming to Bermuda with me. Because we're going first class. Now, I thought this was quite interesting, that it's £2,900, each way, of course, 2 people. Yeah, it's near bagatelle. And that will get us to Bermuda. But I also noticed that that's the direct flight. If you did a connecting flight, went through America, it's going to cost you £6,000 each way. But anyway, we're flying British Airways. Now, I've made videos about how British Airways have changed their gold card. And it's impossible to get a gold card. Not in this video, it's not. We've got a couple of British Airways flights, and by the end of these flights, you'll have a gold card. But it's not like the old days where you could do a gold card for £3,000. Now, if you look here, you'll see that British Airways First Class is recommending Cambridge Beaches. Now, that looks cheaper than what we've done. We've spent about £21,000, but that's just for the ordinary room. And we're in a cottage because we're millionaires. And millionaires stay in iconic hotels. And what's more iconic than Raffles Hotel in Singapore? And for our week at Raffles, we're spending a measly £41,000. Now again, I could talk about Raffles because I've been there. I actually stayed at Raffles on my honeymoon, and a friend of mine worked for the Raffles Hotel group at the time. He was the exec chef of Brown's Hotel in London, and he arranged a deal for us, and we stayed in the Charlie Chaplin suite. But even though that honeymoon was quite amazing and very expensive, it was Raffles was a bit out of reach staying there. It was like £5 for a Coke out the minibar. So we went to Carrefour and we bought some sushi, and it was the first time I'd ever experienced wasabi. I took a big thick layer of wasabi, put it on a bit of salmon, put that in my mouth, and I went, ah! Nearly as much as going £15,699.88 for our week at Raffles. And we haven't even started on our trip to Singapore because, of course, oh yeah, credit card, remember the rules. We've got to be able to book this online. So yeah, we're going to Singapore. Well, how are we getting to Singapore? There's only one way to go to Singapore from the UK, and that's Singapore Airlines. And not only just Singapore Airlines, we're of course going first class, but we're going first suites. Now, if you haven't seen these before, there's some absolutely fantastic videos. Some great YouTubers have made some videos on this because they've been lucky enough to fly on it. And I am hoping to fly on it next year, but not at £12,000. It's a little bit out of my budget, but you can actually fly from Mumbai to Singapore, and it's £1,500. You get about 5.5 hours, the suite, the gourmet dining, then you can get the bed out. But remember, you must book it on an A380, because if you book 777, you will only get first class, and we don't do just first class. This is what we do, the A380. Look at this. Look at that. How fantastic is that? So that's what we're booking to get to Singapore, to go and spend a week in the Charlie Chaplin suite at Raffles. That's not so bad, is it? But of course, we need to get home, and this I think is quite interesting. It's free. It's completely free. I think we have to book the outgoing flight first. I don't think they're just going to give us a flight for free. I think that's once you've booked the outgoing. But remember, we must book it on the A380. So, that's Singapore. That's Raffles. Let's stay in this part of the world. Now, we need a luxury train. We need to spend £60,555. And when you think of luxury trains, of course, we all imagine the Orient Express. But the best is the Maharaja's Express. Well, it would be. It's for Maharajas. Now, it is a bit India bling, but there's nothing wrong with that. Because wait till you see inside this train. This is just them welcoming you on board. Now, I've seen a video of this Trek Trendy. I mean, Trek Trendy gets to do these videos. He doesn't just make them like I do for a bit of fun. And I watched his video on this, and it's absolutely amazing, this train. It really is. It's just, look at that. Colonial Indian, going through the night, exploring India, talking to your fellow guests over a cocktail. Oh, I like that. The dining room. Oh, yeah, this is special, isn't it? Oh, look at that. Mumbai, Rajasthan. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm losing myself looking at this video. It's just stunning. Yeah. Great Aunt Maud. Give us your monnets. And of course, you can't do India without a guided tour of the Taj Mahal. Anyway, like I said, that's cost us £48,000, but we now need to get there. Now, we should really be flying first class with Air India, but not with the videos I've been watching on YouTube. I think we'll stick with Emirates. And they have their beautiful first class suite. So we're going to go from Manchester. It's my local airport. No need to go from London if we're flying Emirates. So we'll take the A380 to Dubai, and then we'll pick up another A380. Of course, we only fly A380s. If we can't fly private jets, we're flying A380s. And I think that gets us in at £12,000. I worked this one out at. Anyway, we're £12,000 for the peak of luxury. And as I said, there's loads of videos. It's an amazing suite. I think the suite on the Singapore Airlines is the better suite. This is an amazing suite, but there's an absolutely fantastic video. Noel Phillips, Emirates First Class. You've got to watch it because he took on board a bag of Monster Munch pickled onion flavoured crisps to have as a canapé with his Dom Perignon. Now, that's style, Noel. I love Noel Phillips' channel. If you don't know who he is, you should Google it. Now, we're going camping. And again, camping, you'd have thought I'd have picked a safari, glamping in Kenya or Tanzania. Now we've got America. I thought I hadn't got anything from America in this video, and I thought, got to put something in America. So I Googled the most expensive place in America. And yeah, there's hotels in New York and LA and Vegas. It's all cliche. And then this came up. The ranch at Rock Creek, it's Montana, it's Yellowstone, it's John Dutton. It's $10,000 a night. And it is under canvas. And I just thought to myself, this is magical. I'm not sure I want to go horse riding. I'm not very good at it. But I love that countryside. I love the views of Montana that I've been watching on Yellowstone. And so I'm so glad I found this. And as I said, we're not doing classic canvas, family canvas. That's a tent, ladies and gentlemen. But we have a cabin, the Sweetgrass Cabin. And that's $10,300 a night. But I also saw this, the Homesteader Wagons. I mean, it really is straight out of a cowboy film. And that's $2,000 a night. I know this is made up, and I know this is pretend. But even in a world of pretend fantasy, I'm not spending $2,000 a night to sleep in a tent on a wagon. I'm just not. But I would spend it to stay here. Even though, look, an awful lot of that cabin is canvas. This is camping. We have done a camping holiday at the princely sum of £76,000. Now, why is it £76,000 if it's $10,000 a night? Well, because we've got to get there. And of course, we're just gonna flick in and get our British Airways Gold Card. So I had a look for Montana, and again, obviously we've got to fly first class. British Airways flights to America, they're just not cheap. Saying that, I did actually fly back from America with the Miami in economy, and that was £350. That wasn't bad, but it was economy. It wasn't A380 though. I like A380s. So it's £9,000, and that's each one way. This is not a cheap flight. This is not a cheap camping trip. And luckily, you can rent their tent for $10,300 a night, because I don't think you're allowed to take a tent. Did you see that? Did you see that? That's a business class. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, my fellow millionaires. But you've got to fly business class for 2 portions. But my fellow millionaires, we're going to Monte Carlo. And if it's Monte Carlo, we've got to be on a yacht. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I worked in Bermuda at that resort. I worked at some of the finest hotels and restaurants in the world. And Ritz-Carlton was always seen as the industry standard. To me, when I talk to people, especially when I was working in America for celebrity cruises and when I worked in Bermuda, we always saw Ritz-Carlton across every property as the industry standard of excellence. So they've got to be quite good on a boat, and we need to take a boat to Monte Carlo, and we picked that boat up in Rome. Couldn't find a scheduled flight that I was happy enough for you, so you're just going to have to rent a private jet on this one. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but I couldn't fly you scheduled, or even EasyJet. But I think Ryanair will get you to Rome. But look at this. We've got Rome. We've got Livorno, we've got Portofino, we've got Monte Carlo. If you've got any change from the Monets or the lottery win was really big, Casino Square. Of course, we're spending $52,000 a night each for our cabin. Well, we're actually not in a cabin, of course. We're in the owner's suite. Well, we've just roughed it in Montana. We need some luxury in our lives. And have a look at this for luxury. That's not bad, is it? It's not bad at all. You spend a week on board here? There is actually a 2-week cruise in Singapore. That's $90,000 each. So that's a mere $180,000. Add in the Singapore flights. We could do £200,000 with Ritz-Carlton. But we needed to go to Monte Carlo. I couldn't make a video about millionaires and not go to Monte Carlo. I mean, I wouldn't be doing my job properly. Floor plan doesn't look that great, but yeah, I think I could live in there for a week. And now we're staying on board a boat. I wanted to go on this boat. Wanted to go to Antarctica because they got a helicopter. They got a submarine. They got a helicopter and a submarine, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a bad way of spending 120 grand, is it? Now, I actually did look at going to Antarctica. It was going to be my 50th birthday treat, which was until the thing happened in 2000. You all know what I'm talking about. And I had to cancel it. Now, don't worry, I hadn't found £100,000 to go on a scenic cruise. But Hurtigruten, the Norwegian cruise line, they're more expedition than this luxury helicopters and submarines. And I thought that suited me. And they also had a cruise with no solo supplement. So I booked it for £8,000. Got all my money back, because of course it got cancelled. So I think I'll have to wait for that for my 60th. But I thought that was fantastic. Just look at this. So there we go. Our owner's penthouse is £51,630 per person. And we've still got to get to Buenos Aires. Now, that's probably quite a rare search on Skyscanner. First class, 2 travellers, London to Buenos Aires. And I thought I'd do British Airways again, but we've already got a gold card now. And so I thought we'd go for Lufthansa, because they've got brand new first class suites. So we've got Lufthansa. £8,500 was the best flight I could find, with one trip to Frankfurt and then Frankfurt all the way to Buenos Aires. So that comes in about £17,500. Now, which do you prefer? Do you prefer the Antarctic cruise? Do you prefer the beach resort? Do you prefer the city break in Singapore? Which is your favourite? Now, the other thing you might have noticed while you're watching this video, if you've been adding up all those prices, you're going to think to yourself, he hasn't spent £500,000 yet. How's he going to get to £1 million? With 6 holidays, £500,000. What can we book online with our credit card today for £500,000? Yeah. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? We're just going to have to rent a private island. And there's no other island that we can rent apart from Necker Island. And this comes in at £605,000. And you will see the credit card form. I kid you not, I couldn't believe it. I just thought I'd Google it for fun. How would you go about Necker Island? And I thought it would be applications. I thought it would be this. I thought it would be that. I certainly didn't think it would be like booking an ordinary holiday. But as you can see, when we just look around this place, I mean, it is spectacular. I mean, we've all seen it in newspaper articles and, of course, a few videos on YouTube. I think it's a magical place. I think it's possibly too much, but it's popular. Look at this, it's virtually fully booked. I can't get us a week here. That's £605,000, that's not a week. I managed to find 6 nights that were unblocked, and I searched right the way through to 2027, and it's full. So then we find our nights, and we've got to go this year. July the 4th. Would you not have thought July the 4th would be a popular date in that part of the world? But anyway, it's not. So we can take the whole island. We're not just booking a villa. And that's $154,958 per night. Per night. But that's not just for 2. We can take all our friends. So there'll still be a lot of empty beds for me. Look at that. $154,000. And here you go. Card details. $774,788 on your credit card. Why not? Why not? Anything else we should know? Just don't run the credit card through. And of course, we've got to get to Necker Island. And there's no direct flights from the UK. So we've got to find the nearest place. So yes, as we know, Necker Island is in the British Virgin Islands. And we need to fly there. I think we'll do a helicopter transfer from one of the international airports. Why not? We're millionaires. That again is adding extra. So, you know, you'll have to sell all the monies. And we can fly to Antigua. So let's book to Richard Branson's Necker Island a flight to Antigua. Oh, whoops. I don't think we should use them. I think we should use them. Can you imagine that? You arrive at Necker Island and you're greeted. You've just spent £750,000 and it's like, how do you get? Oh, we had a lovely flight with British Airways. Imagine Branson coming out and going, get off my island. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had as much fun watching that as I did. And yes, if this is in your price round, the links are in the description below, as is the link to all the special offers that have been going across the screen at the bottom as we've been watching this video. and those offers go up every week. So I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. I've got a couple of other crazy videos ideas in, and some holidays at a more respectable price. Still sandy beaches, still blue skies, still great flights, still amazing adventures, but a little bit more change out of £1 million. Thank you so much for watching, and happy travel.